Here we're going to take a look at the new Heart of the Swarm units. We've seen them before, but there have been a lot of changes, some additions, some removals, some crazy buffs as well. We're going to see lots of cool gameplay here. Out of all the Heart of the Swarm announcements that came this past weekend, these new units and unit changes are definitely what I'm most excited about. So we're going to start with Protoss. The Mothership Core, you can actually build this very early as an attachment to your Nexus. Once you build a gateway, that unlocks Purify, which turns it into like a photon cannon. Great cheese defense, great defense overall. You can also teleport the Mothership Core to any Nexus you choose, which is very useful as well for defensive purposes. Here we see a small Protoss army in a lot of trouble, and with mass recall, you can call them back to whatever Nexus has that Mothership Core. Can definitely save you a lot of money on that army tab for sure. Here we're going to look at a support unit, the Oracle, and with Entomb it casts force fields over all the mineral patches, so the workers can't mine. You can destroy the force fields, you can target them, or if you've got a spine crawler close by, that would be really helpful too. The next ability for the Oracle, Cloaking Field, is going to cause a major problem for these Zerglings. There's no Overseer in sight, and with some well-placed force fields, those Zerglings are not going to last very long. Moving right along, though, to the Tempest, and the latest and greatest upgrade for the Protoss, coming from the Fleet Beacon, Gravity Sling adds an additional 12 range for a total of 22 on the Tempest. Absolutely ridiculous. Of course, you need a spotter for sure when dealing with those crazy ranges. Here we see everything. Mass recall, we see the Cloaking Field going up, and these Tempests are going to make quick work of this Zerg army. Very poor engagement for our Zerg player there. Moving right along, we have some Terran units. Not as many exciting changes for Terran. First, we're going to see the Battle Hellion. Now, you actually spawn Battle Hellions from the factory, and they spawn in Battle Hellion form. It just makes them a lot more robust. They're going to last a lot longer. They take a lot more damage. They still deal good splash damage, but it's in a smaller cone as opposed to a long line. Of course, they're a lot slower than the regular Hellion. The Warhound has got long-ranged missiles that are on an autocast, 6-second autocast. They can attack mechanical only. They're going to be really good for breaking siege lines, and that's going to diversify TVT a lot, which is cool. The Widow Mine, created from the factory, targets enemy units, of course, and there's no micro actually coming here from the Roaches and the Zerg player. You can micro your infected units away so that it doesn't splash, on your allies, or you can actually target them down and just kill them so they don't explode. And then here is just going to be a big engagement, TVP, but with this many Warhounds against the mechanical Protoss army, they're just going to melt away pretty quickly there. Of course, with Zerg, we've got some really cool changes as well. The Overseer's back. It was removed. Now it's back for detection. Here we're looking at the Swarm Host, though, and the Swarm Host has changed. These Locusts are now ranged. They used to be melee. Locusts can target air, they can target ground, they respawn every 20 seconds or so, good for breaking siege lines and just, like ranged assault. They do a lot of damage too, 14 damage and 110 hit points. Those Locusts are pretty powerful for sure. This abduct ability from the Viper is going to pull these 4 siege tanks way out of position to get killed off by the Roaches. They can also rescue allied units with that same ability. Here, Blinding Cloud is going to reduce the range of those Marines to 1, making them very ineffective. Any ranged attacker is very ineffective. They're going to have to micro themselves out from under that Blinding Cloud before they can, do real damage. Finally, there is a change, of course, to the Ultralisk. We have seen this one before, Burrowed Charge. Just getting those Ultralisks in position very quickly and knocking back all kinds of, Marines in the case that we just saw, knocking them back as well as a nice bonus. And here we're just going to have a final assault from the Zerg player. Speedlings, Banelings, Abduct, Blinding Cloud, and Ultra support, making quick work of that Terran position. Really cool to share this with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy.